Well, first of all, good morning to each and every one of you. This is a great day for my wife and I to be here in Savannah, something that we've been really looking forward to. And, I'm truly honored and humbled to be selected as the new police chief here in Savannah.
Between now and the end of August, what are you going to be doing, Chief?
Be doing a lot of packing up, be doing a lot of moving, a lot of boxes. So that'll be my first priority, is getting out here as soon as I can, and then hitting the ground running once I get here, and be doing a lot of meetings and a lot of listening.
Meeting with the leadership team, what's that going to entail, do you think?
Well, tomorrow will basically just be a meet and greet with myself and the leadership team of the police department. Just basically introducing myself to the leadership team and allowing them to introduce themselves to me.
A lot of it's feeling out what the department already has available. I know we've read your credentials. How do you plan on using your strengths and integrating them with what strengths do you see that the Savannah Police Department already has?
Well, let me start by complimenting the outstanding work the men and women of the Savannah Police Department are currently doing. They're doing a great job. You can see crime is still down overall in the city. So I don't anticipate there's going to be a lot of work to do, but one of my strengths is really getting out in the community and really getting the community involved in community policing. So that's something that I'll really be working on, is trying to build and maintain a stronger relationship with members of the community and continuing to build on the strong foundation of community policing that's already in place in the Savannah Police Department.
When you found out about this position, then what did you know about Savannah, or what did you know about the police force?
Well, I've always heard, and I've confirmed during my visits here, that Savannah is an absolutely beautiful place. It's a great city. It's a city with very rich historic history. So since I've been here, I've confirmed all that information. So, the fact that my wife and I have the opportunity to move here and be involved in this great opportunity is just, truly a great blessing for us.
And what else did you see about this community that made you decide that this was the right place for your next step?
Well, you look at the organization as a whole, you look at the city, and you look at the elected leaders. There's a great leadership team in place here in the city. Some great professionals who are tasked with public safety for the city. And you talk about an open and welcoming community. Everybody we've met so far has just been absolutely fantastic when it comes to being open, and welcoming. So really impressed with everyone in the city that we've met.
On top of the lay of the land, obviously you're looking into a lot of the, like you said, crime stats that have been trending downward in certain areas, but others are much larger in number than what you've dealt with in past positions. How do you plan on segueing, again, your experience in those other markets, in those other departments, and addressing potentially larger hurdles than you've come across before?
Well, it's not necessarily anything that I'm not used to. You have to keep in mind I spent 10 years as a police officer in Houston, and during that time we dealt with some significant violent crime issues there in the city of Houston. Even when I transitioned to the Aurora, Colorado Police Department, we still dealt with some violent crime and some gang crime activity. So it's not like this is something that's going to be foreign to me. But basically it all comes down to you basically being able to get good, accurate, and timely intelligence, developing a plan, and that basically means putting cops on dots, and being able to go out, and we can't do it all ourselves, building that strong relationship and strong partnership with members of our community and working hand in hand to make a difference in all communities.
And we see those partnerships with other agencies like Savannah Chatham Counter Narcotics, with all the other municipalities around the county. Are you planning on reaching out to the leaders of those departments as well to talk about those partnerships?
Oh, absolutely. I had a great conversation last Friday with the police chief for Chatham County, Jeff Hadley. We had a great conversation about some of the things that have been going on, already occurring, working cooperatively between the two departments. And I will be continuing to reach out to different sectors of the department. I've already had a conversation with the director of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. So I'll be continuing to meet with people and continue to build on the strong relationships with other agencies in this area.
This council has made a significant financial investment. We put together a strategic plan over the last year and a half. Public safety is number one in this city. Is that something that gives you comfort, or knowing that you have the mayor, the council, and the city behind you for public safety?
Well, absolutely. When you have that strong support from your elected officials, that is really a great and strong vote of confidence for you as the department director, knowing that number one, it's a priority for them, and knowing that number two, you have the support from them. So of course that really means a lot to us, and I'm sure it means a lot to the men and women of the Savannah Police Department, knowing that they have that strong support from our elected officials.
Well, and Savannah leaders commissioned the Berkshire study as well, which gave a number of recommendations for the department heading forward into the future. Have you had a chance to look that over and some of the recommendations there, and do they jive with what vision you have for the department?
You know, I've kind of looked, I haven't read the entire report yet. I've kind of looked at the executive summary. And there's some things there in the executive summary that will prove to be very beneficial for not just the police department, but also for the community. But I want to spend some time with the leaders in the organization actually sitting down and going through the entire report.
Chief, is there anything else you wanted to touch on? Or?
Not that I can, well, I guess I can touch on the 3 goals real quick, because I know I've kind of thrown those out there and they're in the media. But first and foremost, my first goal will be to reduce crime and the fear of crime in all communities. There's no better way to show a strong partnership than to have less crime victims in your community. The second goal is to continue to build on the great relationships and partnerships that we have with members of our community. Like I said earlier, we can't do it all ourselves, and we need to have that strong relationship and partnership with members of our community. And then the third one is to operate the department with maximum efficiency, basically making the best use of our resources and also our funding that's been made available to the department. So those will be my top 3 goals coming in the door. I'll have the opportunity tomorrow to kind of have a brief discussion with the police department's leadership team about those 3 goals, and then talk collectively about what we can do to continue to move this great city and the great police department forward.